talk about child
Yeah,
labor.
you want to talk about child labor, Sam? You start us off.
Okay, so when I was younger, so I used to volunteer at an animal shelter.
Did you start recording?
Well, yeah, of course I did.
When did you start recording?
Don't worry about it. I guess you'll find out.
I guess I will
I
find
guess you'll have
out.
to listen for yourself and find out.
Animal
Good.
shelter.
Yeah. So I used to work at an animal shelter. Dude, the amount of child labor I did as a child, like that I partook in, because I was a martial arts instructor, right? And I didn't get paid for that. I did it for like 4 or 5 years and didn't get paid. I didn't even get like money off of my like lessons. I paid full price, or my mom paid full price for my lessons, and I was slave labor. And then like I volunteered at an animal shelter, which I guess isn't child labor because I was volunteering. And then I ended up getting paid like $10 an hour eventually. But like, dude, child labor goes so hard. I think that every child should participate in child labor at least once.
Dude, when I was a kid, we used to live by like this golf course, and what me and my brother would do is we would go around the golf carts and we would collect all the golf balls that would like go off the course or go in a river or something, and the people just said, "Fuck it, we're not going to take it." And you could gather 100 golf balls, and if you took it to the people who ran the golf course, they would give you $20. And that was like big money because we were like 7 and 10 respectively, and so we would go and we would get like $20 and then buy a bunch of sugar and fucking pass out. It was great. Hey, there's a swear for you to edit, by the way. You're welcome, man.
Hey, made it almost 2 minutes in this time. Let's go.
2 minutes.
Carmela.
Oh, so I didn't know when we started.
Oh, well, fun fact, Carmela. Last week or the other day, the first curse was like 30 seconds in.
Really?
Yeah, made it 30
Awesome.
seconds. Yeah, Carmela, do you have any child labor stories?
Yeah, you get
yeah, I have a child labor story. It goes back to the church I used to go to.
Mhm.
So when we were younger, we would be in this thing called kids camp where parents would go drop you off throughout the day, and you'd go to all these different classrooms with different themes for like this year's kids camp and learn about God and all of these different situations. But as you grew older in the like at the church, you would stop being the kid going to kids camp and start being a counselor and have to spend all day like helping around the church to like make sure that the kids are going where they need to go. Like, just honestly, I think you'd start around like 13 to 14.
Did they try and market it as like a cool, fun thing to do? Like, you're
Of
so
course.
grown up now.
Well, and we wouldn't get paid, and we'd be watching like really young children for very long periods of time, and just looking back on it now, I hadn't thought about it until you guys started talking about child labor. Yeah, that was child labor.
Yeah.
We were doing one of the hardest jobs on the planet. Oh.
I don't care.
Another one, a banger.
It doesn't
It's
matter.
instinct.
Guys.
But yeah. And we
I don't
would get
know.
paid. We had to build tents.
I don't know if this counts as child labor, but during my senior year of high school, we had to do the IB diploma has a bunch of stupid requirements, and one of them was this thing called CAS, where we have to do community service. And because I'm a degenerate, I just kind of pushed it off until like COVID happened, and so then it was practically impossible for me to do CAS. And so the school was like, "Hey, why don't you come in and make this YouTube channel for our school where people read short stories out loud, and then you'll upload it and kids can go and watch it because kids aren't in school because it's COVID." The issue was that they were like, "Hey, yeah, this is a great idea, and on top of that, we'll have students record the stories." And so I would have to sit there and watch like these 18-year-old kids who just don't give a shit anymore, who are like, I have not been in a classroom in 2 months recording some child like story, and it's fucking they there were some like who put in meaningful effort, and then some people were like, I'm going to record this on my iPhone in vertical with someone screaming in the background and like a TV show playing.
Well,
And
were these short stories things they had written, or were they just
no, it's like
experiences?
Goodnight Moon, like
Oh,
the very
oh,
hungry
okay.
caterpillar. Yeah.
okay, so my senior year of college was like when COVID was happening, so I had like an online class that so my senior year, right, in like the education program, so we were doing 5 days of student teaching, which was like a full-time job, and then I also had like 3 classes a week afterward, and one of them was just like mandatory. It was such like a non-class, but so after we moved because of COVID, everything went online and we didn't really do like student teaching anymore. Or we were supposed to and I didn't, but it's fine.
Nice.
Yeah, don't worry about it. So it was online, and then there was like we would join, and some kids would join like on their phone, like at the gym. It's like you understand you're still like in a college course, right? Like of all the college courses to blow off, that was definitely the one because it was to help prepare for your like TPA, which is like the final presentation to become like a teacher after you get all your certification exams and stuff in New York. And like kids would literally like join like in the kitchen like making a sandwich. It's like with their video on like unmuted, and you just hear them like opening and closing the fridge and stuff, and then yeah, you like hear like the TV in the background, people like yelling. And
yeah,
like,
man, I fucking because I started college during COVID still too, and people did not give a shit at all.
yeah.
I had like an 8 a.m. class, and because we were required to have cameras, because I guess that's how they kept attendance to make sure like kids were actually there. And you would have kids who are sitting in complete darkness in bed, shirtless.
Yeah.
And it's just like nice. Good amount of effort we're bringing to class today. This isn't like it was like an 8:30 relatively normal, like early for sure class, but like still a normal time to be up by, and people just didn't even try.
Okay, but like that's like a freshman college course. That's what you're expecting from a freshman college course. That's just how freshman college courses are. Like this is like senior, like final semester of like the education program. I just on the fact alone that I was someone that was like moments away from dropping out and dying because I hated it so much, and I would still show up in a presentable fashion, and I was the only person who would speak in the class. Everyone else who was like actually wanted an education degree wouldn't can say anything, and I'm like, Professor, I know that we've already had this conversation that I'm not doing an education degree, like I'm not gonna be a teacher. I just feel so bad that no one's speaking. The amount of times no one would speak in class and I would have to say something. I'm like, you know, and I know that this is for your sake, okay?
I'm so wildly disappointed I missed this whole era. Like, I dropped out around when COVID started, and I just stopped really going, so I didn't experience any of this shit.
Yeah, initial COVID life was like the most like uncanny valley like reality ever. I remember one time driving to like Burger King or something like April of 2020, and it was literally like a zombie apocalypse. There were like no cars on the road. Like it was weird.
Dude, my parents wouldn't let me go outside.
I got a job working outside in like May of 2020, and I worked outside that entire summer of 2020, and my dad like nearly had like a heart attack when I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get a job, and he was like, you're gonna give me COVID, and I was like, shut up, bitch. And then I
yeah, you called your dad a bitch.
Not directly.
Indirectly, it was implied
in my thoughts. It was like, oh, little baby man's gonna get COVID. Oh, boo-hoo.
Yeah, you thought it really loudly at him.
Yeah, verbally. I thought it verbally.
Nothing at all changed for me during COVID. I was already just a room dweller, looking outside the windows occasionally.
Nah, early COVID was awesome.
Early COVID did kind of go hard for me because I would sneak out to hang out with friends because my parents, again, I love them to death. My mom works in public health, so she was kind of like over concerned about everything.
Yeah, it's
like,
over at what turned into a global pandemic. She was just
well,
over
no,
concerned.
listen,
Just
no,
a
no, no,
little
it's-
over
Just a
okay.
little over concerned.
Well, no, you don't understand. Like, it would be shit like we would get food, and then she would be like, "We have to quarantine the food before we can eat it." And I
My
was
mom
like,
did that too. Yeah.
I was like, I
Wait, what does
Courtenay,
quarantining the food mean?
you
Yeah.
just put it in a room for like a week so you can't touch it. And it's like, Courtenay, I guarantee you the white bread isn't gonna kill us. I promise.
I don't know. Maybe there's a lot of sugar.
Yeah.
It'll be the death of you one day.
Is there a lot of sugar in white bread? How much
I think
sugar is
so.
there in white bread?
I think everything is sugar.
Depends on the white bread.
Well, I know that all breads have sugar because that's what you need for like it's 1.5 grams. Is that a lot?
I mean, how you gotta do the caloric conversion. Are you a 2-gram large individual? Because if so, 1.5.
Oh, it's 1.5 grams per one slice of bread.
Okay.
How many slices
I don't
of
know.
bread in a bread?
I
mean, I thought it was a thing of American like white bread was really sugary compared to other places.
yeah. Well,
And especially like at certain restaurants, I know Subway had to classify their bread as cakes because of how much sugar was in them.
Subway
but,
Subway
like-
bread is like 300 calories alone, like by itself.
Okay, but the fucking Italian herbs and cheese Subway bread goes hard as fuck.
Nah, it's overrated. I used to be
flatbread.
I used to be a big Subway urban cheese enjoyer because like when I would go to work and like take the train, there was a Subway next to it, so I would get Subway like while I was on the train eat. And I literally would get Subway like 4 times a week.
What's your Subway sandwich?
The same sandwich I would have at any other place. It's like turkey, tomato, lettuce, mayo, and
that is like that. Okay, no offense, but it's a very boring. Carmela, please elaborate.
Carmela, if you want exciting food takes, go on, Carmela.
Oh, it's
roast beef, hot sauce. Oh, I get banana peppers also.
Okay. I don't eat beef. I try my best not to. I occasionally have it if it's a case of that's been what's made for me. But no, at most make your own food places. I will take a quick glance over whatever they have. I will get the flatbread, whether it is like pizza or if it is a Subway sandwich.
Can I just say I don't understand the appeal of flatbread?
Yeah,
it's like
flatbread's
it is like a stale
F tier.
cracker.
Yeah.
It's not that stale, but that's just because of the sauces, which I'm about to get into.
Okay.
So I'll then browse over to the meats for the sandwiches. I'll look at whatever they have that has a little bit of spice to it. You know, spicy chicken, spicy sausage. Load that up on in there. I'll go over to the veggies. That's a lot of like peppers and like jalapenos and just everything that has the smallest bit of spice. That's going on the sandwich. Maybe some pickles if I'm feeling frisky.
Am I inside of a Subway ad right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna end this with the slogan "Eat fresh."
Yeah, eat fresh.
Even though nothing I'm making is fresh.
There was an old YouTube video called "The Frisky Giraffe," and it was like,
nice segue, awesome segue. The Frisky Giraffe, yeah.
I don't actually remember like what I think it was called, the Frisky Giraffe, but like I have a lot of memories of being at my friend's house and watching like 2008 era YouTube when it was like you know like the shoes video.
This episode's being named the Frisky Giraffe, by the way. I just need you to understand.
Okay, yeah, sure. At least this one at least sort of makes sense.
No, it doesn't.
I cannot find a video called the Frisky Giraffe. Are you talking about the Frisky Frog?
No,
it was too many videos.
It was definitely a giraffe. And I remember it was like jerking the guy off or something.
What?
Yeah.
Wait.
What?
Yeah.
No, this is fake.
No, I mean maybe, but I don't know. But yeah, it was like old YouTube, so with like, you know, the longest death ever where the guy like gets killed by a spoon and like, you know, annoying orange, like when all that stuff was big. And yeah, it was like the Frisky Giraffe, and like the giraffe would like follow them around and like it like jerked the guy off, like pulled the shower curtain open on him, and I don't know. I just remember it's just been something in my head for far too long.
I cannot believe that this is real.
I was like 10 years old maybe when I was exposed to this.
So this is potentially just Sam. You're wholly misremembering this then.
Yeah, probably.
Okay,
No,
great.
okay. No, I'll say I remember it like hitting on like women. Like
What?
there was a scene with like a fire hydrant. Yeah. No, it's real. I swear.
Is it real? Are you sure?
It's definitely real. I think. I want to find it because it like the more I'm talking about it, the more I'm remembering from it, and like it's probably gone from YouTube because that would simply not fly on YouTube. No.
Was it like cock out?
No, not cock out. It was like presumed jerking off, right? Where it's like the giraffe had its hands like in the guy's pants, jerking him off.
Was it like animated or was
no,
it?
it was live action. It was a real giraffe.
That's not real.
It was like a stuffed giraffe.
Yeah,
or
it was a
real...
stuffed giraffe. No,
okay,
yeah.
I found it. Is the issue? Is this what you're talking about, Sam?
yeah, that's the one. Oh, yeah, he's jerking the giraffe off.
Yeah,
That's
he
what it
jerks the giraffe off.
That's right. He's the one that jerked off the giraffe.
I like how you put the word frisky in there.
No,
like in your mind. That's what you remember.
No, if you watch the video, he calls it frisky or something at some point. That's because that's how I learned the word frisky was from this video. And I always just like associate like in a sexual way as a result. But I honestly don't know what the word frisky means. And I've always been like afraid to Google it because of this video. Like I never would want to use it in conversation because I'm traumatized from this video, and I never even like bothered to Google it because I don't want to like say it and then have someone who's seen this video think of the video and then have this conversation we just had, Carmela.
It just means like lively, Sam. It just means like you're full of energy if you're frisky.
Well, I'm quite frisky then.
Yeah,
and not in the giraffe way. Not in the giraffe way.
Oh my god.
Yeah, early YouTube was traumatic. When is this from? Hold on.
This is 14 years old. So
yeah, so that's when early YouTube. So
yeah,
like 2008, 2009, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the era when I first like was allowed released on the internet was like 2008.
Yeah, I remember in like 2008, I went over to a friend's house and he was like, check out this awesome video I found, and he started playing porn on his computer.
Dude. Back in school, even like in high school, there was this website, Rusty Trombone, that wasn't blocked, and it was like guys getting like rim jobs and jerked off.
What?
And it wasn't blocked. So like I had like this one friend who would always like when someone would get up from the computer, he would go put it on their computer. He would pull it up on their computer, and then like I found out one day that like the computer teacher has like a multi-view thing so they can see what all the kids are doing on their computers. Because one day I got a glance at the computer teacher's monitor and I was like, oh, that's like all of our computers.
What the hell was going on with the people you two were around?
In high school? I think this is normal behavior.
Yeah.
I think
you're not going to troll your friend by pulling up porn on his computer when he walks away?
I'm not going to troll my friend by pulling up rustytrombone.com.
Oh, no, that's absolutely normal behavior. You went to a freak school with a pool in it, Carmela. I don't know what to tell
Carmela,
you.
You went to a freak school with a pool.
Yours had a pool in the basement!
Okay, but also, a basement is objectively a weird place to put a pool. I know we already had this conversation.
That's like some serial killer shit.
Yeah, that's like, oh... like
someone goes down to the pool at night and gets murdered.
Yeah, I'm sure that's like, isn't that scene from Life is Strange?
I've never played Life is Strange.
Oh yeah, I think there is.
Yeah, there's a scene where they go to the pool. There's a lot of pool scenes, traumatizing pool scenes. So now I wanted to talk about like interviews at some point because like I don't know, and then I thought I don't know how many interviews you guys have gone through.
One.
But I've been through like a variety of interviews at this point, and I'll never forget. I went to this one interview, and I don't even remember when it was. I think it was during COVID, like the summer, like 2021 summer maybe, and it was for some marketing company. I don't know. I needed a job, and I just like I don't have any interest in marketing, I think. And
What do you mean you think?
well, I mean, marketing could be cool. I just don't have any like experience in it, so I don't know. But so I got called for an interview, so I was like, oh, cool. So I went out to like Target and bought like a suit.
Wait, a suit? Like,
Yeah.
what do you mean a suit?
Like I don't know. That's like a
Like
suit,
a
like
button shirt?
Yeah, yeah.
Or
No, not like a button shirt. Like a I don't know, like a fancy dress shirt.
like a 3-piece suit?
Yeah, yeah. Sure. I don't know. I don't dress nicely, so I don't really. You'd be pressed to find me wearing a button down. That's only for the nicest occasions. But anyway, so I went to this interview wearing like really nice like black dress pants and like the dress top, not a button down, like a heavier than that in the summer, and my car had no air conditioning and it was a half-hour drive, and yeah, like that, yeah. And I was wearing
Target?
that.
Whoa!
I was wearing
At
that
Target.
in the
Damn,
summer.
bro.
It was like 90 degrees. I had no air conditioning in my car, and so I'm like dying. I get there, always so disgusting and sweaty, and I sit down for the interview. And one of the first things that the lady goes is like, "Oh, you went to? I went to. I don't care about doxing myself. Fuck." Maybe I'll censor it, but anyway.
That would make it even funnier.
But so yeah, they're like, oh yeah, actually I will censor it because don't give your college free advertising. Fuck you, no free advertising.
You're gonna bleep it every time you say the name.
I
man.
will. Fuck you. You stupid ass college.
Yeah, fuck.
Yeah, no free advertising. Anyway, so one of the first things the lady goes is like, oh yeah, I went there also, and I was like, oh no, because nothing good comes out of that college. It was actually voted as like the second most unhappy students. There was like a survey done by like Princeton or something, like a real college, and it was like all military schools. Like the only category my college appeared on was the most unhappy students. It was like among like all like the military universities and stuff. And there's my dumbass liberal school up there with the most upset and sad students ever, which makes sense. Like the least surprising thing ever. It was a miserable experience.
I was gonna say, from everything you've said so far, it clearly deserves.
Yeah, fuck. Anyway, so the interview goes, and it's like, okay, this is obviously kind of a pyramid scheme, right? But I was kind of like fine with it because I needed money. And the last question, the lady goes, how much have you ever seen $100,000? I was like, no, I'm like 20. What do you mean? Have you ever handled $100,000? No. What would you do with $100,000? I was like, I don't know. Buy a house? Like, what? I don't know. And she's like, I bet you couldn't even imagine. What about 200,000? I was like, lady, what are you talking about? This is during a job interview. Like,
you're poor, aren't you? You've
Yeah.
never seen any money.
Well,
Yeah,
she was
I
like,
you need to work, don't you?
she was
You
like
need a
doing the
job.
she was doing the math where it was like, if you start now, you're gonna make like $30 a week. It was also 6 days a week, including like a Saturday, like 9 or 10 hours a day, and then also on Saturday. It was like awful. It was like 50 hours a week at least, and then like mandatory like group activities after. But she's like, yeah,
You have like labor laws on that shit.
yeah, I don't know. Don't care enough. I was gonna do it, and then that happened, and then I was like, never mind. This is not worth it. This is obviously a scam. But yeah, so she was breaking out all the math. She's like, yeah, if you start now, you're gonna make like $12 an hour, but in a month you'll be making like $20 an hour, and then in like 3 months, if you like recruit enough people, it's like obviously like a pyramid scheme, you'll be making like $50 an hour, and then like kept going, and then it got to like the $100,000 question, and then she's like, yeah, like you could be like me. You could in a year you could be a manager. You could be making like $200,000. You could be doing you could have your own firm. And I was like, what? I don't know anything about marketing. You're telling me in a year I'll have my own marketing firm? I don't want a marketing firm. I just want like $16 an hour.
And how old were you?
This was like 2 years ago. So no,
That-
what? Okay, so yeah, I was like 22. Yeah,
22-year-old. Trust me, just spend like fucking join our pyramid scheme
Yeah.
in a year.
Only imagine if you had said yes, though.
I mean, it would have been
Zach,
awesome, probably.
Imagine
but
where you'd be
You would
right
be-
now.
Yeah, not on some shitty podcast, that's for sure.
I would have been on a cool marketing podcast, probably.
Yeah, you're hanging out with like Andrew Tate or someone. I don't know.
I hope not. He's in prison.
Fuck. Putting
Yeah.
Mr. Beast to shame.
Yeah, but
I
So-
can't believe Mr. Beast is child labor.
so anyway, the point is that was probably like the weirdest interview I've ever had. I've had some pretty bad interviews, but that was definitely like the weirdest one.
So
So-
the one interview I had in my life, I walked in and they were like, because it was at a location that I'm
Dox
not gonna
yourself, do
say. No, because then you're just gonna have to bleep it again, and then you're gonna be like, oh, why did I do this? But I was working at essentially a convenience store, and my friends worked there. And I walked in, and they're basically like, "Yeah, you're hired. What hours do you want?" As a part of the interview.
Dude, bring your child to work day was always the coolest thing, to be able to just walk around some huge ass building.
I never had to bring your child to work.
My
days, or
dad-
my mom or dad never did.
Yeah, my Carmilla, you just dox yourself?
Well,
No.
also,
Okay.
Carmilla, your mom worked in a school. You were brought to work with your mother every day.
Well, that doesn't count.
My mom worked in a school. I used to go, and that was fun. It was a different school. And then
I don't know how it'd be doxing myself.
I just
actually
making
don't
sure.
understand.
I'm just making sure. I was making sure there wasn't another instance of I had to cut it out. My mom worked in a school, and it was always fun to go into the classrooms. And then there was actually a girl in I was in like 4th or 6th grade, maybe. Yeah, 6th grade, and she was teaching 5th grade. And I met a girl there, and then like in college or high school, we like went on a date to go see Finding Dory. Like it was really weird. She like came back to my mom to like get a recommendation letter, and then like somehow I ended up with her number, and we went on a date, and it was really awkward. And then like after the movie, we walked to the diner that was like, I don't know, like a strip mall down. But we also found like a random ass frog just on the ground there. It was pretty cool. It's a nice frog. I later think that
Awesome
it came from
addendum to the story.
it came from a pet store that's in that shopping center that I didn't realize at the time.
Broke
But
free.
yeah, it ran free, but it definitely like died because New York is not
Oh.
frog climate, I think, most of the time. So it was the summer, so it probably chilled for a bit and then died. But we walked to like this diner, sat down to get food, and then I was like, I actually am not hungry. Like I was just like stalling to have like more time to like talk to her. And then she's like, oh, okay. So then we walked back to the movie theater, and then she had to drive me home because I couldn't drive at that time. And so she drove like 20 minutes like north to go drop me off, and then had to go drive like an additional 20 minutes back to the starting point to then go drive like 40 minutes home herself.
You're a real
So-
catch, Sam. What movie did you see?
It was Finding Dory, and it was like really awkward. And then I went and saw Finding Dory again with my ex, who I had dated for a long time, which was another reason COVID was great, because I broke up with her like the day before COVID like happened, and we had like the same major, right? So we sat next to each other in, like all of our classes, and like I would have had to like go to class like the rest of the semester and sit next to her, and that would have been so awkward. We also lived like in the same building, like 2 seconds from each other. And so it was really convenient that COVID happened, and then I never saw her again.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, that was a really convenient time to break up with someone. Yeah.
And my apologies. How old were you with this Finding Dory date that went so wonderfully?
I'm not exactly sure. It was sometime in high school. It was, I think, my senior year. So I was probably 16 or 17, however old you are, senior year of high school.
Like 17, 18?
Yeah, but I was a year younger, so 16, 17. I think I was 17 because I had a late birthday.
Yeah, that's That's a rough movie choice, but it's definitely not the worst I've heard.
It was the movie that was in theaters. Okay, I'm sorry. You find a better
no,
movie.
no. I just I'm
See what
saying,
was
like,
in theaters when Finding Dory was in
Yeah,
theaters.
go
Well,
ahead.
you find that out.
Go
Well, you
ahead.
find that out.
Figure it out. Go ahead. Tell me the movie I should have seen because I already saw it.
I was gonna say that's not the worst movie I've heard, which was that because back like in early high school, Maisie and Vinny were dating.
Mhm.
And they were supposed to go see like a Marvel movie, which first of all is not a great movie choice for a date, at least in my opinion. But the movie they wanted to see was canceled, so instead for their date they watched Kung Fu Panda 3.
Awesome. That's sick.
Which objectively is the worst Kung Fu Panda movie. And also like hold on, give me a second. So
It's crazy that Kung Fu Panda had a show that like ran for I think a long time, but I've realized as I've gotten older that a lot of shows that I thought ran for a really long time were only like 1 or 2 seasons long, and then like must have just like aired every day as reruns, and I just thought it was like new episodes. Because like I didn't have Disney XD in my house, but my grandma had Disney XD. And like I never really watched much TV like ever. I don't watch like any TV. I'm a YouTube sucker, and so when I would go over her house, I'd have to watch like Disney XD. And dude, even when I was young, commercials made me want to like just I hated TV. I think like that experience going to my grandma's house and watching TV made me like hate television, because having to watch the same commercials over and over again made me want to like punch a hole in the TV.
Dog, you don't like the Danimals commercials?
It's just, I think like commercials are good like the first time, but if I have to watch a commercial more than once in like a half-hour span, and then there'd be instances where it was the same commercial multiple times in one commercial break, it's like, come on, Disney, like surely you have more ad money than that you have to run the Danimals commercial twice in one commeral break. Come on.
Just imagining you fucking strapped to a chair with like the little things holding your eyes open, and it's just Disney commercial playing on loop.
I was being
it's the Danimals monkey along with the like Sprouse brothers.
Yeah, it literally was. That was the commercial. Yeah. Yeah, and then it would be
imagine
like
going from having your like own Disney Channel show to just you're with the Danimals monkey,
and then you end up on Riverdale.
Yeah, and then you end up on Riverdale.
I got the list of movies.
Okay, go on.
So this was June 2016.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah.
So there was Finding Dory, as we've discussed. There was The Conjuring 2, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Out of the Shadows, the second live-action one. X-Men Apocalypse, Independence Day Resurgence, Warcraft, the Angry Birds movie.
I take it back, Sam. I take back all my judgment of you. You made the correct decision.
I'm looking for what else there was. Vaxxed from Cover Up to Catastrophe.
No, that can't be. That was not in theaters. You can't tell me that was.
That was in theaters. Do you want to know what day it came out on?
Okay.
April 1st.
Of 2020? Of this year? I guess we haven't had an April 1st yet.
No, of 2016.
What? Dude, they knew.
No, okay. I talked about this recently. Dude.
This specific movie?
Sorry, my cat just unplugged my audio. I hope it didn't.
Not this specific movie, but like the build up to this.
Oh God.
He knows. He knows what it is. So the UK like had a big anti-vax scare before COVID, like ages ago.
With like Ebola or
no, not with Ebola. It was a vaccine scare for the mumps, measles, and rubella vaccine. And this is just all what I heard. Like, these are not my own opinions. But there was this doctor who purported he had discovered, like, the link between vaccines and, like, a link between vaccines, the MMR vaccine, and autism.
Uh-huh.
And that's he made a whole medical study about it, which is now blacklisted. It's completely discredited. It's been removed from the initial website it was put up on. It was removed from the medical journal it was a part of. Completely removed. But
I had to agree to Spotify terms of service. I wasn't going to spread misinformation. So pick your words wisely about this vaccine.
It's Andrew Wakefield is the
Andrew
guy.
Wakefield, yes. No, I everything I said so far has been correct. He claimed that he had found a link.
Okay.
And it is true that this study has been blacklisted.
I guess add vaccine denial to the list of controversial topics addressed.
I don't even think this is controversial.
Vaccines.
Yeah.
But what is it? He went through this whole process. There was a whole multi-year media thing about it, but it ultimately led to him having his license revoked in the UK.
I kind of remember this. I think,
and him moving out to the US, which is what spread the belief out here, made it really major. And it led to the UK having an increased belief in vaccinations, that they were safe to take, which is why they got hit relatively weakly when COVID came out. When COVID released.
Yeah, when it dropped. It had the opposite effect in the United States, which was that everyone just believed what the dude was saying.
Yes, and he's still he still goes to conferences and talks about it. But the funny thing is, with the MMR one, he was trying to claim, no, it's just this specific vaccine is problematic. I believe in vaccinations as a whole, but he's had to double down super hard since then, because now he's surrounded by Americans.
Yeah, and they'll just believe whatever you tell them.
But
they'll believe when you say Call of Duty's a 9.2 out of 10.
But that's why this movie released in 2016. Is because he was a part of it, and it just
wait. He made that movie.
He was a part of the movie.
Was the movie about was it?
Yeah,
an anti-vax movie.
Here, I will read this from Box Office Mojo. I will read the description of the movie. A documentary alleging that I can't speak. That the CDC, the government agency charged with protecting the health of American citizens, destroyed data on their 2004 study that allegedly showed a link between the MMR vaccine and autism. And that came out in 2016, aired until September. It came out April 1st, which, awesome. Really good time to release a movie. Went on till September 22nd, the same year.
Mm-hmm.
So that was within the American consciousness pretty decently by the time COVID hit.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, Chief, you lost me there.
Have you speaking of just weird movies, have you seen the movie that's pushed by Christian fundamentalists that's about in the future the world is considered controlled by lizard people, and they're gonna resurrect Hitler and have him ride a zombie Tyrannosaurus and take over the world?
Awesome.
What movie is this? Because I think I know what you're talking about. Is this Jurassic Park?
It is.
Yeah, that's the plot
no, it's Iron Sky, the coming race.
Oh yeah. I think
No, it's real. I'm not making this up. Iron
sure?
Sky, the coming race in
2019?
2019 finished.
Oh yeah.
This is the film that came out, and I had a pseudo archaeology class where we were talking about it, and my professor was making fun of the idea that like the whole whatever lizards are controlling the world theory. And one of the students got up angrily and left the class and never came back.
Yeah, I just once again want to tell the story about how I was in a history class in college, and my history teacher was saying that, talking about the moon landing, and some kid was like, the moon landing didn't happen. Like it was like staged, and my professor was like, "What? No, it was real." And he's like, "No, it's not real. Trust me."
Source trust.
Yeah, it literally hit her with the dude. Just trust me. And the professor was like, "What are you talking about? Like, it was literally real."
To a college professor.
Yeah, to a college professor.
How do you obtain the audacity?
Who's like area of
very
expertise. Yeah, like her area of expertise is history. It's not like it's some random like other college student who doesn't know what the hell they're talking about. It's someone who has a PhD in presumably history, and you're telling them the moon landing didn't happen. Of course they're gonna like bully you. Like what? That was like the craziest thing anyone's ever said in a college class. And at one time, I was in this history class, and there was like a class. I took a lot of history classes because I was like a history minor, and there was this one kid who was always like sitting in the front, like super like class pet kind of guy. And then at the end of the semester, the professor brought in dates because it was like an Ottoman Empire class, and I guess dates are like Ottoman Empire-esque. And he's like, "Hey, everyone, try a date. Just have one. Just try one." You know, everyone like every like normal person like takes one, right? And it's like, "Oh, that's like weird, but sure." You know, like it's fine. That's a fun little snack. This kid refused to take a date. He would not take one. The professor was like, "Oh, just come on, just like try it. Just try one bite." No, I will not take one. I don't want one. No, I won't take it. And it was the funniest thing is all semester long, he's like trying to cozy up the professor, like answers like all these like really weird questions, always asking him things, like always like before and after class trying to talk to him, and then like have a date. No.
Throws it all away.
Yeah,
over dried
a
fruit.
Yeah, and my professor was like making fun of him. He's like, "Bro, you're not gonna like try a date? Come on, man!" Like it's just like just take one and try it. And he's like, "No, I'm not
but, like,
gonna do it."
At the same time, why did the kid have to try a date?
Because it's funny.
True.
Okay, but
Just
like
try it.
Just take it.
I respect that it's funny, but like at the same time, if I don't want to do something, I'm not gonna do it.
Nah,
right?
I'm here for public humiliation. Take the fucking date, and you're gonna eat it.
No,
Also, I think
fucking make me.
I think I understand the relation of why they were brought in. They've been cultivated in the Middle East and the Indus Valley for thousands of years.
Yeah. I'm sure at the time I knew the relation, but I've since forgotten because I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
But I literally took 3 classes on the Ottoman Empire with the same professor, and he would always. They weren't all about the Ottoman Empire, but
3 different. Okay, I was gonna say.
They all ended up being basically the Ottoman Empire. One was like about like empires throughout history, and we spent about like 90% of the semester talking about the Ottoman Empire and like 10% talking about the Roman Empire. And then I took a class about the Middle East after or before a certain like date, and it was just like that's the Ottoman Empire. It's like the Ottoman Empire was pretty big.
Ottoman Empire again.
Yeah, and then the last class I took was I think these are actually 2 of them were in the same semester also.
That professor was fucking finessing your school, dog.
Yeah, and the last one was
That's all they know about.
It was like the Middle Islam and in like in the class across the globe or something. I don't know. And it was just the same class again. It was really funny because I got like 3 college history class credits for that, and it was just the same class 3 times, and it was really funny going in like I had the same class like in the morning I had like with one with him once, and then in the afternoon I had it again with him, and so I would like hear the same things twice in one day because he would bring up the same stuff that he brought up in the morning, and I'd be like, "What's up, professor?" He'd be like, "Yeah, Sam, I know you already know that." So it's like, yeah, I know, I do. Anyway, he would like
it was the same lesson too every day.
No, it was like he would have like the same anecdotes and stuff where like
I see.
Like the fun quirky bits of like information, or like anytime he could relate back to the Ottoman Empire, he always would. And typically it would end up being like the same relation. Like he would find the same way to tell the story, or a way to tell the same story. And so you'd get the same story twice every day. And it was awesome because he would also like, it was a really, really hard class. Like he would give us like so many pages of reading, and I never did any of it. And he would forget to post the grades at the end of the semester because he was like traveling like in the Middle East or something, and
heading to where it was. He wants to go visit.
Yeah. He would like never post the grades. Everyone would always get really mad and pissed off and stuff. And then like the next semester would start, and I would check, and I would just have A's like in the class every time I like didn't get an A, and then I would just have an A. So
Dude, I told you I like one of my professors, because I'm taking classic courses this semester, and one of my professors had like this big theory that I completely fucked up and ruined by pointing out
Yeah.
issues with his translation. Yeah, so for context, this is a Dante and Virgil class, and we just finished reading through the Inferno.
Devil May Cry class.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
yeah. We're all gamers here. Anyways, hey, can we edit? Can we?
Nope, you're branded gamer now.
Oh god. Anyways, so yeah, we just finished the Inferno, and his whole theory was about how there's this day-night cycle and time progression in the Inferno that fits into like some rule of threes and Holy Trinity within Catholicism at the time when Dante was writing it in Italy. And it specifically ends with the book where it's becoming day, and there's like this whole big deal where they cross over into daytime because he goes through like the hemisphere, like he reaches the halfway point and crosses over, and now he's on the other side of the hemisphere, and it's daytime. And he's like, it's so important that this ends in day, and then the last line of the whole poem is like, oh, and I can see the stars out. And so I was like, Professor, could you explain to me why it's daytime if there are stars out? And he spent like 20 minutes going through all these different old Italian books trying to explain it. And eventually he was like, we have to understand, in the Italian, they're using the passive verb. So it means to see the stars. So it means they aren't actually seeing the stars now. They're seeing them like they can now see the stars when they're out. And I just thought it was really funny. Because, I mean, I had no investment in it whatsoever. But he had just been making such a big deal out of it that I figured I should ask, you know?
I mean, I could go outside and look at a star.
Yeah, I mean, like, so when you first told me that story, I just didn't care and was like, yeah, sure, I don't want to like argue with you about it, but like I feel like you could still see the stars during the day.
Tim, can you look out your window right now?
No.
Well, no. Okay, maybe back then when it was nicer and clearer.
Yeah, before all this light pollution during the day.
Okay.
Yeah, have you ever been outside in the 1600s?
See the stars during the daytime.
I guarantee it's gonna say yes.
Stars aren't visible during the sunlit hours of daytime because the light scattering properties of our atmosphere spread sunlight across the sky.
No, that's false. I see stars during the day.
Yeah, you're gonna fucking see stars when I get my hands on you.
As I said, I can see one big star looking right back at me.
The biggest stars
but
of all.
It's specifically plural. It is specifically stars.
Maybe back then they thought it was two.
Is there was a really easy out for him because he could have just been like, oh, the stars are the heavens, because they come out on the other side of Inferno, which means they're at the mountain of Purgatio, and they could look up, and above the mountain of Purgatio is the heavens, and he could have just said, oh, the stars are the heavens. And I think that's a totally fair translation to make.
That's some Great Britain propaganda.
Go for it.
It's Great Britain propaganda you got.
How is that Great Britain propaganda?
Because like the sun never sets on the king, the queen, or whatever the hell.
The sun never sets on the Great British Empire.
Yeah. Dude, did I ever tell you guys one time I got a 32 in my midterm class? No, I'm mixing up stories. I got a 32 on this test in my history class in like 8th grade, and I had to get it signed by my mom. And
that's so embarrassing.
The teacher was so sick of me getting bad grades. It was an honors class.
Okay, but like, how do you get a 32?
I was bad at guessing on that one.
Oh, I see. I see.
Because I would stay up until like 4 a.m. talking to like my internet girlfriend at the time, and it was
Gaia Online.
Yeah, I mean that's a dude. Don't even get me started on Gaia Online. I have. I'll talk about it, but so I had to take the.
Now.
Oh yes, now. I had to take the test home and get it signed, and my mom, like, I don't know, I wasn't good at forging at the time. My sister was too young to do it for me. Like now, my sister could like forge a signature no problem, but my mom would instruct her to do so because she was too lazy to sign things. So my sister got really good at it, and my mom would be like, "Just sign it yourself, it's fine." But anyway, I had to get that one signed by my mom, and that was like the beginning of the end for me as like a student, because then like anytime I would skip class, or like, you know, like the teacher would like call and be like, hey, your student's like your son's like sucks at school, and my mom would like believe the teachers instead of me, and I was like, oh no.
Well, from what it sounds like, it was reasonable for her to not believe
absolutely.
you.
I would like skip class. I would not do homework. I would do poorly on tests. For the record, I ended my high school with a 3.0 GPA, which I know that's really bad, like honestly, but considering I did maybe like 2 homework assignments my entire like high school career, I want to say, like, not bad. And I went to a decreasing amount of classes as I got older. I don't know, like school's just so boring. Like they just need to do a better job at school. Like as someone who like went to college for education, which is very funny to think about, school is just so bad. Like college was a little bit better, but like they just like force feed you information that just no one needs. Like I'll happily learn something if it's something I care about, but like school is just awful. School is just the worst. I hate school.
I love school.
Nerd. I don't know how I passed high school.
Yeah, me either.
And then I just uber flunked college. I passed a single class in 2 semesters at college.
Nice.
Everything else I got Fs.
My first semester of college I got a 2.7 GPA because I got like a D in algebra or something because I didn't do any of these assignments. And then my advisor was like, yeah, we're gonna kick you out of college if you fail again, or at least the School of Education, because the School of Ed you need like a B+ in all your classes or they kick you out. So then I took algebra again, and I think I ended with like a 3.5 in college, and then my other degree that I did I had a 3.7. So I mean, like, it's not so much like I figured out how to do school, is like I figured out how to cheat my way through school in a way that I could like turn in assignments with like the least amount of effort, and like still like I would just like go off like rubrics and stuff and like fill in the rubric, right? So like it wasn't even like cheating, it was just like scamming the system, you know. I'm just hacking my way through college, life hack style.
I genuinely don't know how you guys failed classes.
Because I was 17.
I failed classes because I didn't do anything. That's how you fail classes.
I was 17. Like the emotional difference between a 17-year-old and an 18-year-old in terms of like maturity is surprising.
Okay, but like you were depressed too, so
severely, yes.
So you're going like, oh well, my brain wasn't developed all the way. Yeah, you had some.
I was dealing with a lot.
But yeah, you had shit going on. But like in college, I had a class. I'm fucking terrible at semantic memory like just memorizing shit. I'm terrible at it. I hate doing it. And so when I last semester I had a bunch of courses that were all just like memorizing shit, and I was like, I cannot pass all of these courses. I'm going to fail one. So I just picked a course to fail, and I never paid attention in it. I didn't go to class. And I just only wanted to take the exams, and I still managed to get like a D in that class, which is considered passing.
I never failed a class. I got a D in algebra and was told you need
you got a 32 on a history.
Oh well, that okay, all right. That was back in high school. In high school, yes, I failed classes. No, actually, I never had to retake a class in high school, though. I never failed. I just came very close to failing every time because I did the very, very, very minimum amount of work I had to do to pass classes.
I had a 4.0 unweighted GPA in high school.
Yeah, Rose was like the 3rd highest in her school or whatever, or like 9th highest. She was like very like highly in like high school.
Yeah, and now she fails the same class every semester.
I'm gonna get yelled at for that. I'm gonna. Oh god.
No, just bleep me out. Just bleep me out.
That's getting cut out. I'm getting fucking roasted for that.
What's the timestamp? What's the timestamp?
God, this whole fucking recording is so cursed, man. This whole recording is so bad.
You're gonna have fun bleeping out everything.
Oh
awesome.
God, this whole recording between the stealing, the fucking doxing. Rose is gonna beat me if she hears that. I just hope she doesn't watch this far.
I feel no remorse for stealing. I mean,
I don't feel
my
bad about
friends
the
feel
stealing.
no remorse.
I don't feel bad about the alleged stealing. I feel bad about if I were to get arrested for alleged stealing.
I don't think you can.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have like our real names on this in any context. So
Yeah, but you think the amount of times you dox yourself an episode, you think they can't both?
I did it once, Sam.
Yeah.
You did it like 7 times.
Yeah, and so that's why I'm worried.
Yeah, shut up, university.
Fuck university, man. Anyway, I want to talk about Gaia. Because
No. We have been going for so long. We cannot talk about Gaia in this episode. Just save it for the next one.
No, I'm gonna have to cut out.
We just need to build up energy for the next one. We're getting into MMOs right off the bat. What are you
cutting out, Sam? What are we not talking about?
I'm gonna have to cut out like a fair amount of the stealing. I'm gonna have to cut out.
No, leave it in.
Leave it in.
It's fine.
Okay, leave it in. But we have this disclaimer right now. Don't steal. It's bad.
Yeah,
it's illegal.
It's getting cut out.
I learned that in the one college class I passed. One class I got an A and it was Introduction to Law and Legal Process.
I didn't steal. I just have a very creative imagination.
They were all fake stories. We never robbed anyone.
Yeah,
all fakes, just goofs.
All right, Sam, you want to talk about Gaia Online?
I really want to talk about it because you brought it up. I really want to talk about it because Gaia Online. This is also back to like 2008 is when I first joined Gaia Online.
90s kids shit, but
yeah,
go ahead.
No, I mean a little bit. Like the website like was created in like 2003 or whatever, and like the original like cash shop items, you would have to like mail an envelope with cash to them, and then they. What
was your profile name? Can I find it really quickly?
Okay, so my original profile name was the God of 08. And then I changed it because it was 2009 and people would bully me that was my name. And so then I made my name some variety of things. And then I eventually landed on 2000, which was my name in games for a long time.
The God of 2000 or just 2000?
No, just 2000. Because it was the year. No, it was. I don't know. Anyway. So yeah, Gaia was awesome. I used to scam people all the time. I'll just jump right to the part that I care about talking about. But yeah, I would scam people all the time. You'd like become people's friends, and then like they would trade you items. It's like the RuneScape stuff, right? Where it's like, oh yeah, just trade me this, yeah. And then like you would like get the item traded to you, and then you would like block them, and then take their stuff and then sell it for money.
The classic.
Yeah. There was one time there was this girl who I was like sort of like dating online, and she won like the most expensive item in the entire game from like a gacha thing, and then she sold it and had like so much money, and like she gave me like a lot of the money to like match outfits with her, and then like I stopped talking to her and took the money and used it for my own purposes.
Ran away. You were a fucking gold digger.
Oh, absolutely. I was a gold digger. Yeah, I was a Gaia Online man gold digger. Yeah. I would find these like women who would like give me items and stuff, and I'd be like, awesome, thanks. Yeah, we could totally match.
Gold women.
And
you were riding the line on being groomed, huh?
Yeah, I mean, well.
Oh.
No. I mean, I agree with you, but it was awesome because I got free items and stuff. So it was all like, I don't know. I would like I would dress up like in like the poor items because there was like starter items and stuff that like made you look like you didn't have good stuff, and then you'd like make friends with the people who had like the good items, and then they'd feel bad for you and like trade you items that you could like sell. So like I would do that, and then I would just get all this like free stuff and sell it.
How old were you?
So 2008, I was like 10, and then it's just like from when I was like 10 to like maybe 16 at the oldest. No, maybe like 10. No, it was like 10 to 14. I was like 10 to 14.
Yeah, that's like that perfect age where you don't have a consciousness enough to be like, yeah, I'll steal from these strangers.
Just make a full-on racketeering scheme of getting as much as you can.
Yeah, exactly. Like I would just like lie about who I was too, right? I remember one time I was like telling this guy a story how like I worked on a fishing boat and like or like lived on a fishing boat with like my parents, and we would like get so many fish, and like you just lie, right? Because I was like really big into like writing and stuff around that time, so I always had all these crazy ass ideas in my head. So you would just like pull up to the guy online chat area, and then you'd like just talk to some random people and like just lie about who you were, and then
tell them your whole life story.
yeah, just tell them this fake life story, and then they would just give you things. Anyway, that's Kyle. I got banned eventually, I think, because I stole from so many people, and
you
I
should
probably
see
got.
if you can find your old account.
No, you can find it, but it's banned. It's called just a trash can, because I changed my name eventually and started giving away all my stuff. Because I was sort of done with it and like just wanted to give people my stuff. Just going back to the community, you know, because my conscience finally kicked in, and so
the guilt.
Yeah, so I gave away all of my stuff, or was like in the process of doing it. And I don't know if I got hacked or if I got like
sad.
deleted, and yeah, I'm sure you can find it. I'm sure it's cringe as hell, but
no, I found forum posts for me.
Yeah, please don't read them.
Can you put them?
Please don't. I'm gonna
I won't read them out loud.
I don't want to see them. Please don't post them somewhere I can see them.
I'm not gonna post them somewhere you can see them. But I think that if you want to escape this, you should bleep out the name of your account.
No, I don't care. I just don't want to see it. Anyone else?
You're gonna see it is the issue.
I mean, I'm just gonna look away. I just don't want to be posted in a private area where I am forced to look at it anytime I go to a channel.
I'm only gonna share one. I'm only gonna share one.
You can share one, dude. I don't want to know. You know how they say like.
No, I get it.
I'm not reading that.
You're gonna have to read it when you put it in the episode. I'm gonna demand this goes in the episode.
Oh yeah, okay. So that's actually So I actually know this. So I was literally in 4th grade for that message. Okay, literally 10 years old. You're making fun of a 10-year-old right now, dudes.
Oh, I'd do it again in an instant.
You're making fun of a child.
If I saw 10-year-old you, I'd punch you in the head.
Awesome. So, yeah, and I had a friend, Kyle, who we were like in all of our classes together, and then
oh my god, this guy's dressed up as a Nazi on the same forum as you. His name is Hans Zimmerman.
Awesome.
What the fuck?
Yeah, Guy Online was a wild time. Yeah, no, that one's not that bad. I was literally 10 years old, so I don't feel too bad about that one. There's some definitely cringier things from when I was older, but that one's not so bad.
Is Guy Online still active?
Yeah, they like had major inflation issues. So they had like gold, and then they had to make like platinum, which was like 1 platinum was like 1 million gold, and then like platinum got super inflated, and then I got banned around that time. But I think because
goddamn economic crash.
Yeah.
Hey Sam.
Yeah.
What vacation did you go on August 31st, 2008? Oh, sorry. I was with a Z on vacation.
Honestly, probably like Sesame Street in Pennsylvania, man.
Wait, Sesame Street's in Pennsylvania?
They have one in Pennsylvania. They might have ones elsewhere, but at least it's like a theme park. It's a water park, and I used to go all the time when I was younger, so it wouldn't surprise me if that's the vacation I went on.
Huh.
It's that, or maybe I went to Gettysburg.
An actual answer.
Yeah, like just a banger trip, I guess.
Yeah, it was awesome. Yeah, no, I went. I think that summer I might have gone to Gettysburg, which was also really cool. I'm gonna go back to Gettysburg at some point because, I saw a ghost, like a real ass ghost in Gettysburg.
Really?
Yeah, we were on a ghost tour. At least I think so. I mean, I don't know.
Do you guys think ghosts are real?
Yeah, I'm a ghost believer.
Yeah, I believe in ghosts. And it's not like a thing of like where I'm like, I believe that they're constantly there or whatever. Because fucking, you know how some people are. They're like, don't say the ghost name or the ghost will come kill you. I don't believe that shit. But I do think ghosts are real. Oh yeah, Sam? Go in the mirror and say...
I don't believe it, but like, I'm not going to say it, I'm not, because like, what if it is real?
Not going to test that shit?
Yeah, I'm not going to mess with things that I don't understand. It's like Ouija boards. Ouija boards creep the hell out of me, man. I don't want a Ouija board anywhere near me.
I'm not sure where I stand on the ghost thing. I know Ouija boards are bullshit.
I mean, I'm sure they're bullshit, but they still creep the hell out of me, man.
No, that's fair.
I don't know. I'm very like susceptible to being traumatized by scary things. So I think I was traumatized too many times when I was young.
I've played
Dude,
Phasmophobia with you, Sam.
I'm such a baby. It's so bad.
Yeah, because we have two completely different experiences playing Phasmophobia. Because that game is not scary to me at all because I find like everything that I do boring. And so I'll just walk around yelling at the ghost, asking it to do stuff, and like hard cut to you sitting in like the corner of your room on your bed,
van, yeah.
away from the computer, like sobbing and rocking back and forth.
Yeah, well, I don't want to get
horror games like that. They stress me out.
Yeah, it's stressful, and part of the fun of it though is being scared of it. Like, if I like really was like, nah, I'm a bitch. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not even gonna try to defend this. I can't go to like horror, fucking haunted houses or anything because they just scare me, man. I remember one time I went on a ride with my sister at like the local like theme park, and they had like a horror ride or whatever, and I like closed my eyes and like cried the whole time. My younger sister was like 6 at the time, and she's like, "It's okay."
Reassuringly patting you on the shoulder.
Yeah.
What are you guys' top 3 fears? I'll go first while you guys think. So in no particular order, I'm aware that like spiders are really good for the environment, right? And it's like, oh, they take care of pests or whatever. I don't like spiders. I don't like bugs. Anything that kind of like crosses me, if it were to touch me, I am not a fan of. And then it's like the deep ocean is like the other like really big fear that I have.
That's fair.
Can I just say really quickly?
Yeah.
When I was with Rose the other day, I had my hand like, I don't know, we were just like laying down, and I like had my hand like in like the bug position, right, where you like have it like your fingers are kind of extended like on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
I like wiggled my fingers across her body, and she freaked the fuck out like a bug crawled across her.
One time I woke up with a tick in my mouth.
Oh, that's no longer funny.
Yeah, it's not. That's just sharing, little bug thing.
It was just the funniest thing ever. Like, did you think my hand was a real spider? Like, when you saw my hand.
What did you do about it?
Me? I spat it out. Well, because what happened was, like, at first I didn't realize it was a tick. I had felt like something on my face. So I reached up to brush it, and my hand touched the tick and pushed it into my mouth.
Ticks are awful, man.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and then I had to spit out. Well, yeah, because my parents have a lake house, I've gotten ticks a ton.
Yeah.
So I'm not too bothered by ticks.
They're just awful.
But just like bugs in general, I can't stand. And then the reason I have a fear of the deep ocean is because we were on this trip in like Nicaragua or something, and we were out on the ocean, and they were like, "Yeah, there are dolphins out, so we're gonna put you out on this board, and you're gonna go out with the dolphins," which I later learned is like super illegal, and like you're not supposed to do it all.
Really?
But so like they put me out on this board, and I was holding onto the board with like a snorkel mask on, looking down into the water. For dolphins, and there were no dolphins, and it was just like a bottomless blue void staring back up at me, and I fucking never again do I go deep ocean. I cannot do it. Well, and then after that, I guess like heights is my other big fear.
I want to go skydiving so badly.
You want to go skydiving?
Yeah, I want to go jump out of a plane.
My cousin went skydiving and her parachute didn't open, and she almost died, but she was like with a jump instructor who was able to wrangle her.
Yeah, so it's fine. She didn't die.
I guess.
Has she been skydiving before?
No.
It's fine.
I feel like if you have not been skydiving before, they should really like have some fail safe.
No, they do. The parachute has like two, like it's like a double parachute. So if one doesn't work, the other one will open still.
Well, because like normally what they do is like for first time jumpers, you're strapped, right?
Yeah, to another person. Yeah,
to another person. But they didn't do that for some reason. I'm not exactly
they're a bad
sure.
company, I guess.
Yeah,
that almost kills their customers.
Hellish. I cannot even imagine what like you would be thinking in that moment.
I'm gonna die
when you pull this chute.
Yeah,
you try to pull the chute and it doesn't come out.
Yeah. Anyways, your guys' turn. Top 3 fears.
I don't know. Carmela, you can go.
Well, I'm trying to just.
Okay. So I'll talk then because
Well, no,
Okay.
I was gonna say I have an idea.
Okay, go
I
for
have
it.
existential fears, but then I just have like normal fears.
Yeah. Are we talking like realistic fears or like?
No, let's not get too heavy. This
Okay.
is the same podcast where we're talking
are-
about dinosaur Hitler. So come on.
And
Dinosaur
giraffe
Hitler,
that jerks you
giraffe,
off.
Subway. I never finished my sandwich, by the way. It's just sitting on the counter, guys.
It's, do you want any cheese with that?
Yeah, you want to finish your
No.
sandwich?
I want all of the spicy sauces. I want it wet as possible on my flatbread.
Oh, that reminds me. I know we're talking about fears. Me and my brother do our shopping at Walmart, and we were at Walmart the other day. And I was like, I'm hungry. I'm gonna go get Subway while you check out all the bags, because like I can't do shit while he's checking out.
I wish we could ever finish a story or a thought.
Yeah, we'll get there. I mean, it doesn't matter. And so I was waiting in line, and this kid in front of me, he got like the just the white bread, and he was like, I don't want any meats, I don't want any cheese, I want lettuce and I want spinach, and that's it. And
He's a
she's like,
vegetarian.
okay, well, are you sure? Do you like want a sauce or something? And he was like, oh yeah, you're right. And then he ordered every single sauce they had.
That's not real, dudes. That's not a real story.
Sam. I promise you, it's a real story.
That's not
because
real.
that's how I found out they had hot sauce. Because they have like this bottle there that's like, oh, ask me about this bottle, and I've never fucking asked because I'm too much of a coward.
Mm-hmm.
And the kid was like, can I get the hot sauce? And she grabbed the ask me about this bottle and sprayed it on there, and I was like, oh cool, they have hot sauce. So then I got hot sauce on my sandwich.
One time I got the Carolina Reaper wings from Buffalo Wild Wings, and I got them like, what I've learned is that if you get the hotter sauces from Buffalo Wild Wings, they make it like to order, I guess, like the sauce. I don't know. So they always give you way too much sauce, and it's like already a spicy sauce. So it's just like caked in too much sauce in the first place, and it's like disgustingly hot. So I got the Reaper wings, and like it was like, I understand now, like when people like are like crying and stuff and like going through something when they have like a hot wing, like a really really spicy wing, like it's cool, like it's kind of like, I get it, you know, I get it now when it's like you get like that adrenaline rush, but it's just not worth it. It was
because your body's entering fight or flight.
Yeah, it was awesome. I was sitting in a hotel room, like
spice is like literally poison.
Yeah, it was awesome. I would do it again.
It was plants going, hey, we don't want to get eaten by these mammals lying around, so we're gonna make this specific chemical within ourselves,
bro,
to prevent mammals from eating us.
You think all the plants got together and said
humans came along and went, yummy,
yummy spicy plant,
yummy pain.
I like that. It makes me feel like I'm dying.
And then they started breeding the peppers together to make them even hotter.
Damn. Anyway, Carmel, what are your top fears?
Yeah,
what are your top fears? Number one, darkness. I have been, so I used to have my setup in a garage, and sometimes the lights would just automatically turn out.
I hate that.
Later in the night. And so all I would have is like the light of my monitor and then a pitch black void around me, just staring out there. And even now, like if I get up during the night and like go downstairs, we have a pretty big backyard. I can't help it. I look out into the backyard. I can't see anything, and then I just sprint to wherever I'm trying to go.
Darkness is the worst. Darkness is definitely my number one too.
It's coupled with another like fear that is just, I don't think this one should be as big of a fear as it is for me, but like the thought of someone breaking and entering, because my grandparents have told me a story that have mentioned multiple stories where people tried to break in.
Like into your current house?
Yes! And the only thing that stopped them at the time was they had a Rottweiler, which we don't have a Rottweiler now. We have a big chubby dog that wouldn't be able to do anything. I don't know what my third... I used to be afraid of heights, but then I started flying, so I kind of got over that one.
You grew wings? What? What does that mean?
No, like like I started taking flights to visit my girlfriend.
Okay.
Okay, but like when you're in a plane, okay, maybe this is just me. When I'm in a plane, I completely dissociate. Heights in a plane are
Yeah.
not the same thing as heights on a building.
Absolutely, I agree.
Yeah.
Well, I stare out the window.
But they do you not? Well, I guess maybe they don't have like the TVs or whatever.
No, I just don't watch the TV. I stare out the window or read.
You're such a fucking weirdo. You're
What do
so
you mean?
weird. That's a weird thing to do. When I
It's
get on
pretty.
what you're trying to enjoy the flight? Is that what you're trying to do? When I get on a plane, I want to get off the plane. I'm not there for like plane time.
I'm there by myself most of the time, so yes.
I will hop on a plane and pop an edible and like watch some kids TV show. And that's what my 6-hour flight or whatever is.
No, I read books.
Yeah,
I guess I'm cringe.
you are cringe.
Fuck, what is my third fear?
You already did 3. The heights was your third.
Well, no. I said heights used to be. I used because I had to walk over.
You're getting a honorable mention fear now, Carmilla?
Yeah, I had to walk over an overpass to get to junior high, and so
I'm
like
gonna drown you.
over a California freeway. So that was pretty scary because you could feel the wind from all the cars rushing by. And there was like a gate, but I was always like, what if somehow I fell over?
I'm gonna give you a new fear. I'm gonna figure out something and do it to you and just permanently scar you for life. Like I don't know. I'm gonna put you in a box and like bury you alive or something, and then
I mean, that's pretty terrifying, but I'd also just accept that.
being buried alive, you'd be like, well,
Yeah, there's not a whole lot I can do. I'm not gonna Kill Bill my way out.
Why
I mean,
not?
you could. Women can do anything, Carmilla.
Yeah.
I haven't learned that martial arts technique.
It's
Just girl boss it.
punching. Yeah, girl boss it.
I haven't learned the 1-inch punch. I'm sorry.
All right, Sam, what are your 3 fears?
Well, okay, I definitely agree. Darkness is my number 1 fear because, the dark is scary. I used to get sleep paralysis, so like, all sorts of weird things would happen at night in the dark. Right? I would have like, I think this is also why I sort of like believe in ghosts because like, I would have like shadowy figures like standing over me like while I was having sleep paralysis, like just like just staring down at me. And I think like Paranormal Activity also scared me pretty bad with that, the movie, like when that came out. And so like darkness is definitely my number 1, and I think everything kind of stems from that. Like the ocean, I almost drowned when I was younger, so the ocean's probably number 2 because I live on an island, and when I was younger I got pulled out, but luckily my uncle like came and got me back. But
Like ocean currents.
yeah, I totally would have died. Like yeah, like a riptide. Yeah, totally would have drowned because I didn't know how to swim at the time, and so I definitely would have drowned. And yeah, my uncle got me back. But so I think that's like number 2, because also like you said, dudes, like the just I don't want to deep water. No thanks.
Mhm.
Even
I
like
think-
going in my pool or whatever. Like if I close my eyes, like when I was younger, I'd be like, oh my god, there's a shark in the pool with me.
Well, I think fear of darkness and fear of like the deep ocean
they're
stem from
similar.
the same
Yeah.
thing, which is
It's-
not knowing.
Yeah.
Yeah, in an
Yeah,
endless
unknown,
expanse where you can't see anything.
Yeah, and the ocean's worse because like shit is in there. Like
You just can't
you're
see
out of
it.
your element and there's shit in there for a fact. Like, and it can come from anywhere, anytime without warning. Like as ridiculous as it is, it could just come from anywhere, you know. And then like number 3, I don't know, man. Sure, spiders. I don't like spiders. I don't kill spiders. Like I'll leave a spider chilling in my room because like they're good. Yeah, like you said, like they're good for the environment and stuff. But I don't like them, man.
Yeah,
I-
I don't fuck with spiders.
I have a third one now.
Good.
Sam reminded me of it.
Is it spiders?
Sleep paralysis.
Oh yeah, sleep paralysis is
Because
awful.
I sleep facing. I sleep face down. Yeah.
Paralyzed face
I
down.
mentioned this
Nothing,
before. I
not
mentioned this
finished.
before, and it got laughed about then too. but I
It's
sleep
just a funny
face
thought.
down, and so I've only experienced it like I think once, maybe twice when I was a kid, or one of the times was when I was a kid. One was more recently. But with sleep paralysis, there's a knowledge in the back of your brain that something is there.
Mhm.
And so I'm face down in the darkness of my room, unable to move, and I know that there is something lurking around my bed.
Sounds like a Five Nights at Freddy game.
Okay. At the same time, Carmelo, this feels like your fault for sleeping like
Yeah.
a golem. Like perhaps if you were not
It's
some
comfier
large,
that way.
perhaps if you were not some large clay construct lying face down on a bed.
It is so much comfier that way.
It's not.
It is.
How do you breathe?
I surround. Here's how it is. I surround myself with like pillows, and I kind of prop my head up with my arms so that there's a bit of space between my nose and mouth, and then the bed itself.
What
And I
the
just lay
hell?
like that. I lay in a little den.
Why aren't you normal? What's the deal? I'll sleep on my stomach, but my head is turned to the side, so like
Yeah, you can
oxygen
breathe,
enter my
yeah.
body. Yeah.
I guess I'm just built different. I don't know.
Clay construct looking ass. Fucking swear to God.
I also sleep under like 4 layers of blankets that just compress me downwards. I have to see. This is why I wouldn't be afraid of being buried alive.
Oh, buried alive would be pretty bad. Yeah, that's probably my number 3. You're right.
This is why I'm not afraid of that. It's because
You want to be buried alive, Carmelo? Is that what you're saying?
I basically do it to myself every night.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't mind being buried alive. I could take a nice nap.
Yeah,
Or
I'd be so
weighted
comfortable.
blankets. Wait, is it weighted blankets that you have on top of you, or is it just
They're
like heavy
not
blankets?
weighted blankets.
You would be
they're
crushed.
Just heavy blankets.
Okay.
I have
I was
100
gonna- I was
pounds of weighted blanket on top of me every night.
just imagining Carmelo fucking developing abs or whatever, intercostal muscles every night by breathing in and out under like 50 pounds of weight.
Carmelo's Rock Lee scene is when she takes the blankets off.
No. She lives in California. She's training for like if an earthquake crashes a roof or not.
Let's take a nap real quick.
I think I live relatively like close to / on the fault line.
Oh,
The whole
awesome.
state's
It's
Fall
gonna
on
happen.
Earth.
Every time there's an earthquake, it trends on Twitter. The big one. It's like trending in your area.
Well, anyway.
Yeah, Sam.
All right. Yeah. We've done it again.
We've done what again?
Did you end the recording?
No, I didn't end it. No.
Oh, you're still going? Even
Yeah.
better.
Okay.